the Traveling Common YouTube channel. Today we are going to Niagara in the Canadian side. Today we are doing 30,000 steps on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. So when we went to Niagara Falls, we stayed on the US side of Niagara Falls at the Hyatt Hotel because we have points and there's no Hyatt on the Canadian side. So we stayed on the US side across, I think it's called the Rainbow Bridge. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called because it's like a big bridge, kind of, you know, a big bridge. Anyways, so we stayed on the US side. So there was a lot more steps to our day than if you did stay on the Canadian side. Crossing the Canadian-US border wasn't a very big deal. It wasn't very hard. Going to the US side, they did have a little toll, so you did have to pay a loonie of $1 to get through. So just an FYI, go with some coins in your pocket, especially even if you're going from the Canadian side and you're gonna walk out onto the bridge. Just look at the falls overall. You will need to still pay that to get across. So then once you get over to the US side, it's pretty easy to get through. They check your passport and you get through. Usually no lineup. I don't think we ever experienced a lineup there. So that was super easy. But coming back to Canada, there tends to be a lineup, especially when we went first thing in the morning. I don't know how many other people stayed on the US side or also just people venturing out onto the falls, the bridge to check out the falls. There was a lineup. So I did bank for another about 20 minutes to half an hour of time just to get through there, and we definitely needed it. It was very busy. They only let one family in at a time into the thing, so you have to line up outside, just an FYI. After we got through security though, breezy, so many which ways you can go into Niagara. You can take off onto the busier street. There's some stores right there. You can take off and walk along the, it's kind of like a wall to check out the falls. So after we made it through security, or border crossing, I guess you could say, we went over to the power station. So I had booked a previous time to tour the power station. So it included a power station tour, guided tour, and the tunnel.
So how did they make power here? Down is called the thrust deck, and that's because it's got a great big bell-shaped bearing called the thrust bearing. That bearing
So after our power station tour, we took the glass elevator down through the power station, and you can see every floor of the power station. Super cool. I didn't realize it was such a big building, and I didn't realize how far we were gonna go down.
That's why the turbine would spin, and in turn that drive shaft would then rotate those big blue alternators you guys saw up on the museum floor. Those alternators would go on to produce 25 horsepower across the building.
Once you're down at the bottom of the glass elevator, it is a long walk through the tunnel to get out to the point of view where you stand, and you're kind of at the base of the waterfall, and it like misses you. It's super cool. I would recommend this experience 100%. Like I said, you don't have to do the guided tour. We did the guided tour because then we wanted to learn about the power station and some of the stuff that took to go part of it, how to make a power station. But you can go and you can do your own tour, and you can go into the tunnel too. the tour at the power station and the tunnels, we headed back up to the ground and we went and got some lunch. And I guess you would call it like the main street. I'm not actually sure the street name in Niagara. I don't know, I call it like the main strip. It kind of felt like an exhibition or Las Vegas or Disney or something. There's like rides and restaurants and blinking lights, and it was like super crazy over there. So that's where we went, headed for lunch. And then after lunch, we headed to the Maid of the Mist. The Maid of the Mist is where you can get up close and personal with Niagara Falls. Like, it was an amazing experience. I 100% recommend, if you're going to Niagara Falls, you have to go on the Maid of the Mist. The only thing that really sucked for us, the GoPro quit working as soon as we got to the waterfall. So I was super scared that my phone was gonna fall in the water or the phone was gonna quit working because it was so wet. So up to the waterfall is a GoPro, and then after that is all iPhone, and I ascended it and it seemed to work out, so I did okay. We had some time after Maid of the Mist to do some activities, so we decided to do some mini golf. And we went mini golfing at the dinosaur thing, which was super fun and cute. It's super busy course, lots of people. I think it was 18 holes, maybe 2 separate courses going on. There was like a volcano erupting and everything. So we went and did that. We checked out some stuff on the street, and then we also had some downtime because we were coming back to the power station for a night tour of a light show that happens inside the power station. The power station light show was amazing, especially if you had younger kids. Oh my gosh, the little guys were running around and it was so fascinating. It's so crazy what they can do with sound and lights to create such a crazy atmosphere within inside the building. So I do recommend that. So we're our 30,000 steps. Before this, we had taken off back to the hotel and took a rest for a little bit before we came back down for supper and the night show. So we had and then we headed back down to the power station. 100% recommend the power station. So after the Power Station night show, we decided we needed a treat. And it was either, I think it's called Dippin' Dots ice cream. I think it's got like crunchy little balls inside of it, or Beaver Tails. And we went for Beaver Tails. They were so good. We got a birthday party beaver tail with ice cream on it. I think there's other drizzle on it. Oh, it was so good. And honestly, that was my first ever beaver tail, which I'm really surprised being a Canadian. I thought I would have had a beaver tail before then, but my first one was in Niagara. A couple of things that we didn't do during that day, which I wish we had, but the kids kind of got a little bit tired on us towards the end of the night, was go for a night drive on the go-kart track where they could go around. We saved it for the next day when everybody was a little bit less grouchy, and we did it then. But I recommend doing that. I would have gone back, because what happened when we got down to get our beaver tail is the crowd was going the opposite direction of us to watch the fireworks. And we had already watched the fireworks from our hotel rooftop the night before, so we didn't go watch the fireworks, which I'm sure they look really great on the Canadian side, but we got like a rooftop view from the US side the night before. But that left the main street dead. So I would recommend doing that if you can. Watch the fireworks one night or something, or if you're in the US, watch it on your hotel rooftop of your hotel. And then when you come back like this and all the people on the Canadian side are rushing down to watch the fireworks, you go enjoy the ride.